Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
9 años pidiendo el Snack Wrap. Aquí tienes tu Snack Wrap. ¿Tú quieres un Snack Wrap? Toma tu Snack Wrap. ¿Tú también? Toma un Snack Wrap. Snack Wrap, Snack Wrap, Snack Wrap. Volvió el Snack Wrap. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me, serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
This episode is brought to you by Starbucks. Smooth, bright, deliciously crafted. Introducing Starbucks Sansera Blend, their smoothest, brightest coffee yet. It's a new kind of light roast, one that's packed with so much flavor, it shines no matter how you brew it. So go ahead and try it hot, iced, black, or with a splash of creamer. Visit athome.starbucks.com/Sansera-blend-coffee to bring Starbucks Sansera Blend home.
Hey there, everybody. It's Dave here from Vikings First and Skull, and it's Wednesday, which means this is another episode of Who Will Be King, where I have my friends from the NFC North, sans the Cheeseheads, join us today so that we can talk about the news around the division and most likely pick on said Cheeseheads because they don't have the huevos to join us. That's right, they do not. And it's a shame. Oh, well, too bad for them. They'll work on getting it eventually. Today we're going to talk about a few things. One of those things is the rookie holdouts. That's right, a holdout. Why? Because, hey, Houston Texans screwed up paying their second rounders. So now everybody else has got to pay for it. And that includes a whole bunch of players on the Chicago Bears and a very important one on the Detroit Lions. There's also one on the Green Bay Packers, but let him continue to hold out. That's fine. Then we're going to get into some of these high-dollar extensions paid across the NFL. Some of the players that got extended were ones that we had targeted. Yes, that's right. The NFC North had targeted them. And then we have the possibility of hold-ins. What is a hold-in? It's where a veteran reports, but he sits inside the whole time and doesn't participate in camp. Why is this a big deal? Well, camps are starting. Heck, the Detroit Lions are already in camp. Then we'll talk about a few off-season grades by Seth Welder of ESPN, how he's wrong, how he's right, we'll see, and any other hot topics and headlines that happen to strike our fancy. All today on Who Will Be King. Let the battles begin. Holy shamoles! Look who's gracing us with their presence today. Jude is back.
What
How's
up,
it going there, buddy?
It's going, man. I'm glad to be here, man. This is my therapy, man.
Well, that's good. Well, can you tell the viewers why you've missed the whole month's plus worth of shows?
Life, work, That
Hate
type
to
of
say
thing.
it. New job. Yeah.
New job. It sucks, but hey,
Hey.
Getting to the money.
The Bills got to get paid. So,
Yep. Got to be able to afford those high ticket prices at Ford Field.
yeah. Well, maybe one day I'll have the kind of money like Foster, and I can not work.
Well, I was about to say maybe you can get Foster to take you to the game. If Foster
See,
would
he's
click
beautiful.
off.
Look at
He's
God.
muted.
He's
Yeah.
He's
Look at
speechless.
God.
Like, wow, I got that.
God is good.
Yeah, you got lucky.
Foster, how you doing?
I'm good. Trying to stay cool.
How's the baseball team?
Baseball team is good. They all our all-stars looked awful, in the all-star game, but that's okay. It's exhibition. It's good experience. It doesn't have any factor on the rest of the season, which is important.
Cool. And
They didn't look awful, but they just didn't do anything really.
How are you and the fans from Chicago?
The fans from Chicago are always frustrated, Dave. That's a loaded question.
But, hey, I could see why. Let's start off with the rookie second rounders that are unsigned. There are 30 of the 32 that have yet to sign going into camp. And as I explained in the opener, that's because the Houston Texans screwed everything up and gave their second round pick in the second position a fully guaranteed contract. Right. Are you gentlemen worried, especially you, Pay, with having 3 second rounders that you're waiting to sign the contract?
2 second rounders, 1 third rounder. Okay. Worried? If I put it on a scale of 1 to 5, I think my worry would be about 2.5. I wouldn't go as far as to say it's 3. You know what I'm saying? So, the worry is, half glass half full, glass half empty type of thing. I would want to say it's more on the half empty side of things. One reason and one reason alone. Because I think everything's going to be resolved fairly soon. You know how you're from the pre-cable days, Dave. You're pre-internet. You remember where we had to use our imaginations to find our entertainment. Mm-hmm. Did you ever used to just get dominoes and just stack them up and just like knock them all over like that?
Oh, absolutely.
That's what I feel. Of course, that was top tier entertainment back in the day. That's what I think is going to happen with this contract situation with the second round draft picks. One domino is sitting out there, a very high pick. He's got his he's caught between a rock and a hard place, and I don't mean that in a funny way either, but I mean that quite literally. Once that domino falls, and I think it's going to fall in the direction of the owners, I think all of them are going to start falling.
Could that domino be Luther Burden?
Actually, no. Right part of the country. He's a Midwest draft pick and he plays for a Midwest team. One of the older teams in the NFL, those Cleveland Browns. One of their second round picks. He's got himself in a little bit of trouble there, Dave. And once you get in trouble, you start looking like, man, how much money am I about to lose? Let me go ahead and sign a contract real fast.
Now, you are referring to the Mr. Young Jenkins.
That's right. Mr. Judkins for the right. Mr. Judkins for those Cleveland Browns. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but he is a football player, and football players are prone for domestic violence. He did his thing. Dave, we talked about this last week. The Felon Fantasy Football League.
Yes,
might be a player you might want to look into. So,
well, Jeff Pace and I talked about it on Monday morning's FFSN football show about Mr. Judkins and also this is the time of the year that I call list season, and I can't stand it, but it's better than waiting for the police blotter that Mike Florio originally started to pop up, and suddenly you hear you've got a team member that was just arrested.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's just how it is. When you scraping the barrel for content, it's either lists or talk about who's in jail this week. So,
it's bad. Now,
the breaks.
When it after the fact, we looked at the stats, and the two teams that lead the league in throughout the Super Bowl history are the Minnesota Vikings, who are number one at something, and number two was Just Place's Denver Broncos. So we knew what we were talking about. But luckily, so far, knock on wood, no Vikings have been arrested yet. However, Jordan Addison's court date, which was Tuesday, got postponed till tomorrow, Thursday, at 10:30 Central Time, 8:30 Pacific. We'll see how that goes. You may be lucky, Pay, in that the first game, the Bears might lose by one less touchdown because Jordan Addison's suspended.
Fingers crossed.
Now, June, are you worried about Tate Ratledge holding out?
No, not at all. I'm not worried. I think with so many holdouts, like Pay indicated, there's domino effect. I think once one sign, they all will. Secondly, I think the guard position and the center position, which he's projected to play, there is competition as far as filling that roster spot. I don't think it'll get that far, but not worried about it. I think it's just a matter of one person signing and the rest will fall in place.
Mm-hmm. It is interesting. Now, Det Fat Man, what a name, says, so how do we think this second round guarantee collusion embargo ends? What team finally goes to break to sign a guy? I think Pay answered it.
It could be.
I think that's the most logical thing there. You know, I don't want to step on your toes there, Joan, but I would assume that these guys are trying to start a trend of what do you want to call it? Unity, maybe. So,
sorry, fan man, I misread it.
So I would think that no one's going to break solidarity, you know, just to get a quick payout. You know, you got to think long run. Like my dad used to tell me growing up, don't think about the next 5 minutes, think about the next 5 years, right? So, which will be like their contract tenure with the most likely person to crumble fast would be the person with the legal issues. With that's be Mr. Junkins. You know, if you get jammed up, you obviously know you're finna lose some bread, so you might as well sign as quickly as possible. And definitely Cleveland's looking at him like, yeah, you're not getting that 100%. So come closer to us.
And I also like to add that Junkins is a Ohio State Buckeye. He's guilty. Sign the contract, get the ball rolling, get the minimum. Let's go.
Foster, do you agree?
I'm not gonna go out there and say he's guilty, but he did go to Ohio State, so he makes poor decisions. We know that he's capable of making a poor decision. But as far as Tate Ratledge is concerned, as long as he doesn't do anything, you know, threaten to opt out like Shamar Stewart and go back to college, you know, outside of that, you know, of course, we would love to have him in camp as soon as possible, being that the interior offensive line is like the one thing they're hanging over our heads is something that could be a liability on the team. So yeah, as much continuity and as many snaps as he can get in camp, the better. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we're used to people holding out in the first round and stuff like that. But second rounders, get in here and, you know, if you don't work, you don't eat. So it's only going to get more tough for you.
I think it hurts himself more than anything. You need to be in camp as a rookie. Offensive line is not an easy position. You need to be in there from day one. So
especially if you're competing for a starting position, yes.
Yeah. So and
possibly playing a new position too. Like, it's the center is unfamiliar to them.
And there's very high expectations for that offensive line to be about something. So you're hurting yourself.
Now, Bulldog says, I thought rookies were on a pay scale. They are. And including the guaranteed money is on a pay scale. But it was the Houston Texans that blew that out by signing their selection to a full 100% instead of the 92% max he was allowed. And that screwed everything up. So
what's so special about this guy, huh?
And of course, the team above them who picked first in the second round, they gave their guy 100%. And now the remaining 30 of the second round are all, nope, we're not signing. So we can see. Now, hopefully, for Green Bay, it's Anthony Belton, offensive tackle, NC State. So hopefully he takes forever to sign.
The Green Bay Packer hate on here is just chef's kiss.
Hey, it's just anything to make them worse, I'm all for.
They did it themselves.
Mm-hmm. It is. Now, gentlemen, I'm curious what you think of Sauce Gardner's $120.4 million deal, along with Trey Smith and his big $94 million deal. Those were two players that I know teams in the North had their eyes on. Do you think it's good pay for Trey Smith to stay down in Kansas City?
Yeah, because you don't want the precipitous fall of Pat Mahomes to be. You don't want the fall of Pat Mahomes to be that precipitous. Give him a chance to still be the shining child, the shining star of the league that he already is. You don't want to take all their players for that protect them. We saw how he looked in the Super Bowl when nobody can block for him. You don't want that for 17 straight weeks. I mean, just keep him with something in the barrel so he can fight for himself. As far as Sauce Gardner, Dave, I'm interested to hear you guys' thoughts on that pay raise the young man got.
Oh, I can tell you, Vikings fans wanted to trade for Sauce something terrible, and still would be open to it for that matter. But $120.4 million for 4 years, $60 million guaranteed. That's a lot of payola. That would hurt somebody's cap. And now the Vikings obviously don't have it in cap space for this year or especially next year. We're number one over, but we can make room. It would be rough. But I feel bad for Sauce Gardner because he's at where? With the Jets. How much success have the Jets had in the last century?
We said the drought was how long? Can't remember. 8 years or something? Or no?
14 years. I think
it was. Yeah, it was in the team. So
yeah, they've been horrible. And they haven't been to the Super Bowl since Namath.
Oh, my God. Broadway Joe.
Mm-hmm. No, they've got their issues, and I feel bad for Sauce. But, hey, he gets his bank.
Yeah, can't feel too bad for him. I mean, he out the gate, I think he was Defensive Player of the Year. I think he had a little bit of a regression in that second year, but I think DJ Reed might have even been statistically a little bit better or pretty comparable to him. But I can't knock a former Detroiter, Keen Crusader alumni. Yeah. Even though, Michigan could have had him, but they said he was too skinny. So that was a really smart decision by them, but it worked out in the end, I guess.
Bulldog says Mark Sanchez and Rex Ryan were the last time they were relevant. It could have been for the Jets.
No, that's facts. That's facts.
Mark Sanchez, yeah.
Butt fumble. You remember that? That was the last time. Their relevancy ended right then and there at that play.
It was over.
Mm-hmm.
Jericho Cotry.
Yep. Hey, it is what it is. And they obviously weren't under the 2 years under Aaron Rodgers.
Can't wait till Pittsburgh get a taste of that.
First year doesn't even count, but yeah.
It was one snap.
I know it counts.
Yeah, one snap. It was one snap, all right.
Yeah.
Literally
2 snaps.
Two snaps.
Yeah.
Now, it counts, Foster, because the karma is what injured him.
Well, and there's
you are a little too happy about this pay.
Whoa, happy! I'm never happy to see an athlete lose a year of their career due to injury. I'm just only saying that it couldn't have happened to a better player.
Wow. Wow. Well, okay.
So about those contract extensions.
Mm-hmm.
You said Sauce Gardner got a new $120 million deal. Is that 6 years?
I think it's 4.
4 years. Yeah, you're right. 40. I think it's he had 2 years left on his deal, right?
And it's a 4 on top of that.
Right. So it's a new 6-year contract. All right.
Well,
120
plus what he already got paid.
Yeah. So it's a lot. I want to piggyback on what Foster was saying. I mean, he had a down year last year. He was probably one of the worst starting cornerbacks, not including any nickels.
Mm-hmm.
He was pretty bad. They picked on him a lot last year. So even though we joke about Aaron Rodgers not adding to a team, actually making teams worse, that defense is pretty. I called it. I said that defense is overrated, and it started with Sauce Gardner. Opposing quarterbacks and other teams' wide receivers ate good when he was lined up in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I always felt that Hutch should have won the Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, I think he ended up with more interceptions than Sauce, but Sauce was like, that was a no-fly zone. You just were not throwing in his direction. But yeah, he only had a
rookie of the year. That's what he talked about. Pay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, rookie of the year. But he had 1 pick last year, a 70 PFF rating. Like,
yeah, he's a 2-time All-Pro player.
Wait, so how many years has he been in the league now?
3rd. He played 3.
Gotcha. So he's going into his 3rd, or no?
Going into his 4th.
Going into his 4th year. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe last year was the down year. Maybe he was good the sophomore year. Maybe. Okay. Fair enough. But, so much for
like we discussed. It's the New York Jets.
Got to pay somebody, I guess.
Yep. I got to pay somebody. And speaking of paying somebody, we have the possibility of some hold-ins. Hold-ins by veterans. Terry McLaurin, wide receiver of the Commies.
That's crazy.
Is demanding a trade after failed talks, and he skipped OTAs.
I like that for him.
Right? He wants to leave.
Yeah. And panic meter is set at 9, which is high. 0 to 10. Mm-hmm. Or 1 to 10. He's at a 9.
Get up out of there.
Which is a shame because the team seems to be on the right track.
Right. Yeah. Depends on where he wants to go. I mean, maybe we want him to stay where he's at.
Go west.
Go west. Don't go. Yeah, but wait, past the north, like go.
That's actually not a bad thought.
Kansas City is nice.
Oh well. Not too much.
You ain't worried about him going long. You can't protect him.
Go further. Go further west, because
Seahawks or something. I don't know.
Or San Francisco.
Oh,
they could use him.
Brandon Ayuk.
Definitely help out their contract situation with Juwan Jennings right now. But that would be interesting.
Mm-hmm. I'm hearing thunder, and I'm in a basement. So if we drop off again, we'll be done. But
it rained
shout out
pretty
to
good.
Oklahoma City.
It did rain here, yeah. You're getting the trickle down from, or no, that's going the wrong way.
It could go that way.
Huh?
It could go that way.
We can go east or west?
Yeah. That's happened.
I am not a meteorologist.
It's rare, but I've seen it happen.
Okay, yeah, rare. It's got to be rare now.
I mean, it could happen. I'm not saying it did. It could.
Most of this time of year is southwest to northeast. That's the direction of travel.
Right.
Now, Trey Hendrickson of the Bengals. He's adamant he's not playing without a deal.
He shouldn't.
Should the Bengals be worried?
Yeah, because this has been stirring for a while. This isn't like,
Pay, you do the AFC North show. Are they worried about that?
My guys that run the Running Through the Jungle podcast, they've been talking about this all off season. Trey Hendrickson, they don't think he's actually worth as much as he wants to. His contract demands. Obviously the money, they come to an agreement there with the money. The money is fine. It's the contract length that's causing everybody to, push away from the table. And the guys from the Running Through the Jungle podcast, which is an excellent podcast, you check that out. Also brought to you by the good folks at FFSN. They agree with Mike Brown and them. They agree that the amount of years that Mr. Trey wants, full stop, can't do it. Trey is already 31 years old. He wants 5 more years on his 5-more-year contract? And I chimed in. I think we was doing this show, and I said, even with Trey Hendrickson, the Bengals defense was horrible. If they lose him, what are you really losing? If he doesn't show up, what are you really losing? You was 32nd with him. You'll be 32nd without him. What's the deal?
The combination of Shamar Stewart, that situation, is like, I don't know. Like you thought that, okay, maybe we got a little, not a stopgap, but some reserves or somebody to come in and he's doesn't look like he's signing anytime soon either. So that would be a headache.
Okay. Sticking in the AFC North, we have TJ Watt, Pittsburgh Steelers. He's rated at a 6, a medium on the panic meter. He's entering his final year, $28 million AAV. Wants to be the highest paid edge. He's already skipped OTAs. Should he get it?
Sure.
No. And I only say that because Hutch has to sign after that.
Smart. Yes.
There you go. Yeah.
Don't set the market so high, brother.
Pay, what do the boys from the Steel Curtain Network say?
For TJ, we had a long discussion about this on Friday when we do our AFC North show. Also, frustrated FFSN, brought to you by the Steel Curtain guys. They lean into the fanatical part of any fan base. But we had a good discussion about this. I asked them, would you consider trading TJ at this point in his career? They shot that down. They was like, no, there's no way we'll trade him. There's no way he won't show up. And I said, if he won't sit out, then he's obviously not going to get the contract that he wants. He won't get that Myles Garrett contract. And if he's adamant, you have to actually draw that line in the sand and say that, listen, if I don't get what I want, I'm just not going to show up, and you'll see me when you see me.
Well,
if they believe that he's
a sit-in,
he's a sit-in,
yeah.
He'll probably do that because he is, that's his thing, right?
You don't. The players don't want to be fined,
right? Which
you just grab your book and go sit in the locker room and read or do whatever you want.
Sidebar: terrible negotiation. You should have never. DeMaurice Smith, I'm not buying that book. You sold your players out for that. For that one alone, you sold your players out. But yeah, come show up to work. You don't do any work. That's more what he'll. You can see him doing something like that. He's a gamer. He's doing his work outside of the team facilities, but that's not a way to get yourself paid. I think Pittsburgh feels that they're pushing all their chips in to go for a title this year, and only Pittsburgh thinks this. I don't think anybody else thinks that Pittsburgh is a contender for anything. Not with all these 33-year-old players they got on this team. No, come on, but you didn't hear that from me, Dave.
And the 40+ one, yes.
Yeah, high quarterback. When are they going to piss test that guy? But anyway, if they are really serious about being a title contender for their last dance sort of year that they want to do in Pittsburgh, they got to pay him. And I just don't. Everything that I've observed from Omar Khan since he's been the general manager of the Pittsburgh Steelers, I don't think breaking the bank is something that they do, especially don't do it for free agents. I don't know if doing it for TJ Watt, who has, I think he's still the best defensive player in the league. But he's also been nicked up a lot in the last few years, and they can't win without him. Their record without him, I don't know if they've won a game. But Dave, do you know how many playoff games they won in his career?
And TJ Watts?
Yeah.
0?
That's exactly right. 0. Same thing I said about Trey Henderson. You have a 32nd ranked defense with him. They'll be 32nd ranked without him. TJ Watt, you sign him, you're not going. There's no reason. There's no evidence to believe that they're making a run to the Super Bowl with TJ Watt. My opinion, trade him.
Speaking of trading, there's another person that might hold in, and that's Micah Parsons of the Dallas Cowgirls. Hey, they're not the Cowboys until they win something, and they haven't done that since the 90s.
Foster doesn't like that.
Whoa.
Why?
Well,
you're muted, Foster.
Muted. That's a fine.
Yeah, it's a fine.
That's a fine, Foster. You're muted. That's a fine.
I've grown, away from the Dallas fandom, but
whoa.
Come on, who didn't love the Emmitt Smith, Aikman, and Irvin, and even the Quincy Carter and Rocket Ismail days? Now that was a wild time.
Wait, I don't believe Rocket Ismail and Quincy Carter played on the same team. Did they?
I believe they. I mean, only a true fan of the Cowboys could remember something like that. But yeah, I believe so. They were throwing bombs.
Rocket played for us
but he played for more than one team.
Well, I mean, Rocket had a brother that was in the league too.
Mm-hmm,
but I
the missile.
don't know if they was. Yeah, I don't know if they was on.
You're saying he never played for the Cowboys?
No, I don't. Well, I don't remember Quincy Carter and Ismail being on the roster
at the same time.
Yeah,
maybe not. I don't know.
In any case, the Cowboys was America's team. I mean, they had a lot of fun players in the 90s. You had Playmaker, you had Deion. I'm a big Deion fan. I mean, I like Deion, but calling yourself a fan, that's
I mean, I think it was because it was the first like for me, my first memories of football was Thanksgiving. Even when I didn't watch every Sunday back when
in Dallas,
Barry Sanders, but they played on Thanksgiving every year like the Lions did. Yeah.
And I was wrong. Rocket did not play for the Vikings. Quadri
for the
played for the
Cowboys.
Vikings.
The missile.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. I see. I remember.
Crazy.
Uh-huh. But, hey, it was back in the time when mid-90s, we weren't so good at that point in time. But it is what it is. Now, bouncing to a little headlines that I saw when I was researching the team's headlines. I saw one that we've discussed before, that this could be 24-25 is a pivotal season for Packers Matt LaFleur.
Mm-hmm.
And the writer, NFL reporter Mike Tanier of the Too Deep Zone suggests that it might be time for LaFleur to start delving into some big results for the Packers. It's like, duh. Quote, we will learn a lot about LaFleur in 2025. Tanner wrote, quote, the feel-good vibes from Count Surly Pants departure have completely worn off. Even with Jair Alexander now gone, there's lots of low-key grumblings in Green Bay. Good. The Packers won't be graded on a curve if they finish in the third place and fail to beat any of their top-tier opponents again. LaFleur doesn't become a bad coach if the Packers suffer a hiccup, but it will become harder to cherry-pick stats to make him look like another great one. What's the problem with that quote?
I didn't hear anything bad. I agree with everything you said there, Dave. I'm tired of the glazing. I'm sick of it.
Foster, did you catch the error in that quote?
What was the quote? My bad.
The feel-good vibes from Count Surly Pants' departure have completely worn off. Even with Jair Alexander now gone, there's lots of low-key grumbling in Green Bay. The Packers won't be graded on a curve if they finish in third place and fail to beat all of their top opponents again. LaFleur doesn't become a bad coach if the Packers suffer a hiccup, but it will become harder to cherry-pick stats to make him look like a great one.
So they just assuming that automatically they won't finish last?
Aha! Yeah, that's it.
I
figured if I emphasize that third place.
Yeah,
that third place in.
I caught it the first, but I thought I missed on, ADD.
Okay. But
still fine.
I still think it is, but it is. Yes, T-Bass. Gotcha. And T-Bass says same could be said about Kevin O'Connell. Yeah, very much so. We'll see. Except for he's got more of a leash because he's got the new quarterback now. Hey, it is what it is. Now,
you know what they say, Dave. When you start expectations, a lot of people get upset when you expect certain things from certain players. You know what I'm saying? It's even example, Caleb Williams, number one pick, Heisman winner. He came in with all these expectations. Rightfully, you can say, he's a rookie, give him some time. No. You're expected to do great things. If you don't do great things, then we're not going to, grade you on a curve, as you said. How much did they pay Jordan? Not Jordan, but the quarterback over there in Green Bay? It paid him to do great. Jordan Love. They paid him to do great things. I don't see a great player. They brought in Matt LaFleur to do great things with Jordan Love. Cut the crap. No one giving you a pass anymore, bro. You either put up or shut up.
Mm-hmm. Now, switching from that, speaking of put up or shut up, ESPN put out a story about who was it? Trying to remember. It's one of theirs. Waldron, I think it was, ranked all 32 teams off seasons. Pay, you wanted to talk about this.
Yeah, I read through some of it. He only gave out 4 A's for the off season. And obviously I scrolled looking for the Chicago Bears. Didn't get an A. You know, they fixed what they had to do. The glaring issue on the squad, the offensive line, they fixed it for the most part. You brought in vets. You reversed the sad sack job you did last offseason by actually bringing in some vets, know what you're doing, proven vets. They brought in the coach that everybody wanted. They had a pretty good draft. What else do you want? What else do you want? They gave, you want to run down those teams that got an A there, Dave?
Yep. Arizona Cardinals were the first one with an A-. Denver Broncos with an A-. Los Angeles Rams with an A. And the San Francisco 49ers with an A-. Those are the only 4 teams.
None of them going to win anything.
Everybody else is B's and C's and 1 D.
And we know who that is.
Who?
It's the Jets, isn't it?
Nope.
Oh, I thought it was the Jets. They had the lowest grade. Oh, let me.
He gave the Jets a B.
Okay, throw this guy away. Throw this guy away.
What would that be? I don't know. The
Pack
Jaguars or something.
No, it's the Saints. He gave them
the Saints. Yeah. Okay, that's
yeah.
They don't have any money.
It's fair.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm. They're still punting down salary cap issues from when they won the Super Bowl.
And you know, at this point, they need to go Zion, you got to be a 2-star athlete down here, bro. You're not earning your money in the NBA. The Saints down here, we can't figure anything out. You know what? You got to play for both teams.
It'd be hard.
What position would he play?
But it would be hard pressed for him to think that he wouldn't be injured on the football field.
For sure.
He's injured on the court every week.
A little nose tackle. I mean, he can get to 300 pounds. We know that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He can get to.
That's right around the corner, right?
In which direction?
Yeah, he might have to scale down to get to 300.
He might come down to play guard.
Too big.
See that comment from T-Bass there, Pay?
No, go Cubs.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Now, Chicago Bears, what was the grade? Do you remember?
Chicago Bears got a B.
B-.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, Dave, I thought they had a great offseason. Other than the only thing that gave me pause was this thing that they did the last a few days ago. That was pause. Yeah, the only thing that gave me pause was the thing they did a few days ago when they contract extended Ryan Poles.
My God.
I was hoping you'd lead into that.
Mm-hmm.
What do we think for the GM that has always finished last in the division since he started as a GM, getting a multi-year extension to hook him up with Ben Johnson?
He's the Jordan Love of GMs.
You know what? I'm not even. I can't even argue with you there. I'm not even gonna roll with my dog. I don't understand it. Now, a lot of. I listen to sports radio. I have a small background in sports radio, so I understand the argument that a lot of people are saying, like, yeah, you want him to sync him up with the coach that he brought in, because there's still some discourse whether he hired Eberflus. I don't buy it for a second. There's no way that they hired Eberflus without Ryan Poles' go ahead, because they came in the same offseason. I don't buy it for a second. And another argument is his job was to tear the team down. He did that. You tore it down the best ever. And his job was to tear it down to build it back up. Now he did one part of his job. You gotta let him finish. I hear that argument. I don't buy it for an extension. He still had 2 years left on his contract. Play that out. Jed Hoyer, the president of baseball operations for the Chicago Cubs, is in his last year of his deal. Jed Hoyer is 10 leagues better than Ryan Poles in his job. And they say, no, you got to prove it. You got to prove that you're worth an extension, because in his rebuild, there's some questions. So let's see it. Let's see it before we give you another contract extension. Ryan Poles has brought in one Pro Bowler since he's been the GM of the Chicago Bears. That's Montez Sweat for half a season. You can make a reasonable argument that Montez Sweat is a Pro Bowler for the Commanders more than the Bears. I mean, that's a fair criticism for him. He's brought in one Pro Bowler since he's been here. 2, they regressed the last season off of the stuff he did. There's a clip that you all remember. There's a clip of him, with me going off of him after that last game we played the Vikings, in which Caleb was getting crushed, and he's just sitting up there all got the bitter beer face. I'm like, bro, what are you mad about? These are all the guys you brought in. Aren't you happy with what you did? This is your stuff. We all seen it in real time that this is not going to work. That's not going to work. You brought in Nate Davis. Everybody told you that Nate Davis has work ethic issues. Always hurt. And what did he do in the Bears jersey? Never show up to practice. Always hurt. And when he did play, piss poor. Everything traded for Chase Claypool. Traded the 32nd pick for Chase Claypool. Chase Claypool is not a football player. Chase Claypool he's a model more than a football player. There was no reason to do that. He got one draft pick for Roquan Smith. There's just been terrible decision. Now, granted, I will give him this. The decisions that we think were good, they're still on the roster. Most of his draft picks, not Velus Jones, terrible draft pick, but most of his draft picks are still on the roster and they have to pan out, right? So you can make a reasonable argument that, his actual grade or his actual decision on his tenure has yet to be really solidified. And I say that's fine. That's fine. Let that contract play out. There was no reason to give him extension. For me, it feels, Dave, that the Bears are doing that thing again in which they're patting themselves on the back for a good offseason. And no, you don't raise banners for signing players. You raise banners for winning games. You raise banners when you make the playoffs and win games in February. You haven't come close to that yet. Don't reward half measures. The job isn't done yet. Finish the job first, and then we can talk about the spoils of your work. That's where I'm at with it. I didn't like that at all. The vibes were not cool.
Now, what I've heard is that Ben Johnson literally put it in his contract that he wanted Poles to be hooked up with him, that he wasn't going to sign without it.
Perfect. There was no reason to do it now. I'm just saying, Dave. If Poles is perfect. When we started the show, we're talking about unison, right? The second round draft picks, they're all doing things together. You will want your general manager and your head coach to be tied at the hip, because too much times in Bears history, in recent Bears history, you got one coach and the GM going in opposite directions. That's how we got into this kerfuffle with the last couple of quarterbacks. You would want that. And I'm happy that they have that. And I'm just still saying, Ben Johnson is here for 5 years. He's got a contract for 5 years. There's no reason to think he's going to get fired before then. The Bears have only done that once in their entire 120-year history, or 110-year history. Fired a coach in season. And that was Eberflus because he deserved it. So there's no reason to believe that Brian Poles can't get the same extension at the end of the season, or at least week 10. Why do it before training camp? Again, it just seemed like we're smelling our farts and just being happy about it. Like, oh yeah, that was a good out, bro. Eat some vegetables and come back to me when you have some actual gains.
Yep. You are correct. All right. Now, what he said about the Bears was he loved hiring Ben Johnson. His dislike was signing defensive tackle Grady Jarrett. That includes significant 2026 guarantees.
Mm-hmm.
And that Johnson spent the offseason trying to make it in his image, i.e. with drafting a Colston Loveland at number 10 and the trading for Joe Thuney and Drew Dahlman to help the offensive line woes, which I can feel for. But he's also been awful hard on Johnson's been awful hard on Caleb from what we hear in Minnesota. That he's demanding on the whole team, but especially Caleb. And it's hard coaching
exactly what you want.
That he's not used to, which is cool. Maybe hold him accountable. And they gave the example of Caleb would tend to hold the ball a little bit long so he could freewheel and do his thing. He's like, no, you need to go through your reads faster.
What does every USAA member have in common? Family. We're one big family who supports the military community and their eligible families. And if you, your parent, or spouse served, you could join our family and save big on auto insurance. Visit USAA.com/join today to check your eligibility. Membership eligibility and product restrictions apply and are subject to change. USAA means United Services Automobile Association and its affiliates, San Antonio, Texas.
Before you do
that's been the whole talk of the whole offseason. During the organized team activities, this whole offseason, it's Ben Johnson, coaching the team hard and trying to get Caleb on schedule, play on schedule, right? Something that they were very successful in Detroit. Great players desire great coaching. They desire to be coached hard. They desire to be they desire to be led by someone who sees the game in their same context that they see it, right? I don't think that any of that is an issue with this team. I love it. I love hearing that Ben Johnson is on this team's butt because along the long list of issues that this squad had the last few years under the Eberflus regime was poor discipline on the field. You're not enough, as my former football coach would tell me, not enough stick-to-itiveness to the plan. And the plan could sometimes just be something thrown against the wall 30 minutes ago. I love the fact that, hey, you guys don't have this right beat coming out of the huddle. Do it all over again. Taylor, that was a great 40-yard completion, but you didn't go through those reads fast enough. Do it again. Let's go. That's the type of stuff. That's how winners are made. You got to drill down and make everything about the details. And I love it. I can't wait to see this team. I can't wait to get up there in Lake Forest and watch this team with my own eyes in camp.
Gotcha. Speaking of camp, the Detroit Lions are in it already. Have you got any news out of there, or is everybody just doing their paperwork so far?
I haven't heard anything. I haven't had a chance to really take a dive into what's going on with camp. I know they started early, but Foster, maybe you can shine some light on it. I haven't heard too much of anything coming out of camp.
Yeah, not one. I know that they said that they plan on kind of expanding upon Jahmyr Gibbs' role. Putting him, splitting him outside and allowing him to run some routes out there. They're in the, as far as I heard, they're in the planning stages of the Hutchinson extension. Obviously, doesn't appear that they're going to make any other additions to the edge rushing room. So, I mean, I think it's pretty essential, especially now that he is fully, recovered and returning to football activities to lock him in long term. But yeah, other than that, I guess we are in camp now. I haven't heard a whole lot.
Well, I think you guys just reported like Monday. So it should be doing the paperwork and the classes on how not to get scammed. Dallas Turner. The whole works.
$200K.
Yeah, $240K.
Dave, I'm sorry, Dave, but sidebar. That when I heard that story, that's how sometimes you got to remember that these are kids.
Mm-hmm.
They got all this money, they got all this attention, fame, and all this stuff. But reading stuff like that reminds you that these are kids and they are susceptible to the dumbest things in the world. Well, you're right, young men. I don't want to
22.
I don't use the word kids as a pejorative, right? I'm not trying to besmirch them, anything like that. But these are young men, and they are susceptible to some of the dumbest things you've ever heard. You got one rookie driving down the expressway. We're going 180 or something like that. You got another one that's getting scammed because you say, "Hey, someone's trying to scam you. You should take your money and put it into what was the name of that account?
It was a Chase Bank. Yeah, something.
It was it was Ice Cream LLC, something like that. I'm like, bro,
sometimes you panic.
Island Food Truck
LLC. I'm like, Jesus, bro. Jesus.
I remember being in college and getting scammed into like signing up for a gas card, and I didn't even have a car on campus that year. It made 0 sense for me to do it. But I was like, gas, sure. It was pretty dumb.
Mm-hmm. That's terrible, Foster.
Scam.
But I can add, I'm in a better place now. But yeah, I was, we're all susceptible to these things. I was younger. I was younger than Dallas Turner, so he doesn't have as much of an excuse.
Hey, Foster, I got some oceanfront property in Ohio I'd like to sell you.
I hear they do have oceans out there now, but they don't even have lakes in Ohio. Ohio is just whatever. But
cut his mic. He's done.
Are we going to talk about the grade offseason grades? I know.
Detroit got a B-.
Yeah.
Biggest move, extending Kirby Joseph. The move he liked was signing cornerback DJ Reed. Move he disliked, reaching for defensive tackle Tyleek Williams and wide receiver Isaac Tesla.
Yeah.
And there's a thin line between reaching and the only difference between that is time, because in due time, those may come out as steals. But as of right now, pretty valid to say we reached there, because I would have shared that sentiment with him on that.
Okay. Now, the Pink Bay Packers, what do you think you gave them?
It's probably a C+ or something.
You got it, C+.
There you go.
The biggest move was signing guard Aaron Banks and, quote, paying him way too much money, in my opinion. But, hey, it is what it is. Ooh. And move he most liked was drafting wide receiver Matthew Golden at 23.
Good pick.
That was a great pick after, the first round wide receiver since Aaron Rodgers left. And move he disliked was signing Banks, which I agree with him on that. It's as he puts it, they finally drafted a first-round wide receiver, and they spent big money on Banks. Let's take those in reverse. Banks, a former 49ers guard, signed a 4-year deal that averages $19.25 million per year with $27 million fully guaranteed. The issue is that we don't have evidence that Banks is anywhere near that caliber of player. Banks is coming off his best season to win rates, but he ranked only 38th out of 64 guards in pass blocking win rate and 46th in run blocking win rate. So what it sounds to me like is the Packers bought a mediocre guard. Hey, but at least halfway competent, just mediocre. We'll see. Then Golden gives the team a number one wide receiver upside that they can use and help Christian Watson. I don't know why they can help Christian Watson. He's the one that keeps getting injured. And he talks about tearing his ACL. And he says Green Bay's already known for their group of solid receivers. I would say wide receiver 2s and 3s. Mm-hmm. Jaden Reed, Romeo Dobbs, Dontavian Wicks, and Watson. But we'll see. So that's basically what he talked about the Cheesers. The Cheese Weasels. And for my Minnesota Vikings, he gave them a C+. Seth, you're crazy. Best move, sticking with J.J. McCarthy as our starter. Movie dislike, signing defensive tackle Jonathan Allen. Now, why would he not like signing Jonathan Allen? And as we go down, he talks about Allen is 30 and declining. He's had a below-average 8% pass rush win rate as a defensive tackle last season after being a top 10 player in the category a few seasons ago. Vikings paid him $17 million per on a 3-year deal, albeit $23.3 fully guaranteed. That's a pricier deal than the Commanders cut, or when they cut Allen on, and makes me think the Vikings have traded a conditional 7th round to Washington and takes Allen's old contract, which is possible. But part of the reason Allen was traded was because he was injured. Well, if we can keep him healthy, I'm all for it. And as Delton says, he played with a torn pectoral muscle. You would expect a decline in play, I would think. But, hey, don't let the facts ruin a good opinion. Right, June?
Right.
Now, as for that, we've gone quite a bit of time. And any last words there, Pay? Tell us what they're doing on your channel and where they can find you.
You can find us at the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel, available on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcast fix. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Pandora, and anywhere else. iHeartRadio, as a matter of fact. Check us out there. We've got some great stuff coming up for you. We are ramping back up. Football season is almost upon us. Rookies report this weekend and vets report early next week. So we are getting into our fantasy start episodes for as it relates for the Bears and some training camp reports. We will go into a deeper discussion on the Ryan Poles contract situation in our next episode that should be dropping before the week ends. And other episodes contain about Bulls summer league, what they're doing this offseason, nothing. and the Chicago Cubs as they try to reestablish dominance in the NL in the second half of the season. It's only 60 some odd games left. It's going to be a wild ride. So, like I said, check us out at the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel, YouTube, and anywhere else you get podcasts.
Well, you mentioned the Bulls because you guys and June and Foster cover multiple sports. There's a podcast I see popping up on my feed all the time called the Central Division or something like that. What's it called?
Central Division Showdown.
And you talk basketball. Is that not correct?
Yes.
Central Division.
Gotcha. Well, if the folks want to listen to some good basketball talk, they can hook up to both channels because they tend to simultaneously broadcast, and there's probably another channel involved, is there not?
Yes. Is there? No, check out the Know-It-Alls as well. So it's three of us on the Central Division, three channels rather, on the Central Division Showdown. There's Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel, the Know-It-Alls, and segue, Bleachers to Speakers.
Where can they find you guys there, June?
As Pay mentioned, you can find us on Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube and anywhere you want to listen to a podcast. We are on all those platforms. All you have to do is type in Bleachers Speakers FFSN in your search. Make sure you hit that notification bell on. So when we drop content, you'll get an alert. Download those episodes. Make sure you're following us too. So on that channel, you'll find on the Bleachers and Speakers channel, you'll find Detroit Lions football, Detroit Pistons basketball, Detroit Tigers baseball, and an all-around Michigan sports show called Wax Uncut Michigan Sports. So we'll be talking about everything on that show. That's a new show.
And who drives the Tigers baseball show?
That would be
me. Oh,
I'm sorry.
That would be me and Coach. And we're about 2 weeks away from the trade deadline. I think we're planning on doing some type of live reaction to the conclusion of the trade deadline. And I think it's the same day as the Hall of Fame game with the Lions. So there's going to be a lot going on over at the Bleachers, the Speakers show in preparation for all that, because there will be inevitably be some, isolated Lions shows discussing camp battles and what we want to see going into that first Hall of Fame game.
Will there be a post game live?
There will. There very well could be. We'll see.
I'll have to hop on just to check it out.
Yeah. Yes. We appreciate the drive-by likes and comments and all that.
And of course, you're here. Vikings First and Skull. You can find all the Vikings content right where you want it, right here. Tomorrow we have Tyler Fornes, and he will be going over a preview of the defensive side of the team as we roll into camp this weekend. Rookies and quarterbacks report on the 20th. Vets report on the 22nd. Everybody gets absolutely rolling. I believe it is. First available camp view is the 26th, and the 28th is the date I love. It's the date they put on pads and start hitting. Yes, everybody. I can't wait. My big round bellies in action. So, with that, what do we say, Foster, in Detroit? Come on, guys. Dude, do you have it? There you go.
I thought Foster was going to say something, but I was just waiting.
Nothing to say.
You missed it, Joe. He actually growled the other week.
Yeah. He went wrong.
Sounded like I heard it. He sounded like a hungry squirrel when he growled.
Trying to get a nut out of your mouth.
Well, they say, Pay.
All right. We bear down.
All right. And of course, the best of them all is Skol Vikings. Like, subscribe, and rate us on your favorite podcast aggregator. Thank you for listening to this NFC North group effort on the Fans First Sports Network. This has been a frustrated Chicago sports fans, bleachers to speakers, Vikings First and Skol, and of course, the Fans First Sports Network production. Thank you for listening.